Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. It's Friday morning, so weekend is upon us. It's very sunny. We got sunshine in the UK after a little bit of rain for the last few days. Today I'm covering a topic which hopefully it will help a lot of people about diet. Finding out what works for you specifically and how to maintain it, and covering intolerances, discovering what, if you got intolerances, what to do with them, and so forth. So first, a little bit, just to let you know a little bit about myself. If you don't know me, I'm a personal trainer, level 4, specialized in diabetes, autoimmune, thyroid problems. I'm a nutritional therapist as well. Myself, I've been through a roller coaster of diet for myself. So I've been vegetarian for 27 years, tried a spell of vegan, then ketogenic, then eventually carnivore. So I've gone through just about everything you can try, paleo as well. So I've got obviously quite a lot of personal experience of tracking and testing things to see what works better, and the whole idea is here try to share the experience with you and share with you as much information as possible to try to help as many people as possible, not just those who have got autoimmune or diabetes, but also everyone to try to stop this madness, which is this epidemic of what I call diabesity, which is obesity and diabetes. Okay, so on to today's topic. So we're talking about diets. So first of all, what is a diet, and what's the difference between diet versus lifestyle? Now we've got used of thinking of diet as something that is restrictive. Yeah, so when people say I'm on a diet, typically they mean they're restricting calories and they are trying normally to lose weight. But that's not what diet should be. Diet is just the way of eating, the way you eat. So it shouldn't be a short-term thing. It should be something that you can do and maintain for life. Yeah. If you are one of those people like myself, and I was many years ago, when I was jumping from diet to diet to diet to diet, everything that was coming out, I would try it. I would try that. While you might obtain some result initially, short term, because if you restrict calories, you're going to lose weight. Yeah, but the reality is most of the diets out there, they will have ridiculously low amount of calories, 800 calories, 1,000 calories a day, which are really not sustainable. You might sustain them for a few weeks, maybe a few months if you've really got a strong willpower, but then you're not going to be able to sustain them for years. And the more of these diets you do, the more metabolic damage you're going to cause, which means eventually over time you won't be able to lose weight at all. Yeah, you put on the weight straight away as soon as you come off a diet, and then you won't be able to lose it at all. So that's not the kind of diet I'm talking about. When I mention the word diet, I mean a way of eating. Yeah, so which is something you should aim to do for life. Yeah, so it's about learning what works with you, what works with your body, learning to eat healthy food, so that you don't ever have to go on a diet again, because you won't have any weight problems, you won't have any disorders, any chronic illnesses, you won't have any of that. Yeah, so you will never ever need to go on a diet for any reason. Just eat healthily. Yeah, so that's my what I mean by diet. Right, there are 3 things that you need to keep an eye on to determine whether the way you're eating is actually working for you specifically. Yeah, these 3 things are: number 1, hunger. Now your hunger levels are going to give you a very good indication on how good the food you're eating is working for you. So if you cannot last for at least 5 hours without meals, you've got a problem. Chances are you're insulin resistant anyway, or you're very close to that. The human body is not built to have 3 meals and 3 snacks a day. It just doesn't work that way. Yeah. So I know people who do bodybuilding, they will have 6 meals, sometimes 8 meals a day. Fine. But these people go in the gym. Hi, Catherine. These people go in the gym, twice a day, sometimes more every single day, lifting ridiculous amount of weight, so they're actually burning all those calories, yeah, all the foods. That's what they need. That's not you and me. That's not the average person, yeah. So hunger, if you cannot last for at least 5 hours without, you know, getting really hungry and becoming moody and all that, you've got a problem. What you're eating is not working for you, yeah. Likewise, if you eat something, have a meal, and within an hour you're hungry again, that means what you're eating is not working for you, yeah. So we as humans, we should be able to last for long periods of time. I mean, in the old days, you know, is the Paleolithic era, you know, we would go without food for days. You know, if we got lucky and we caught something during the hunt, we would feast on the animal and then not eat for days until we managed to catch something else, you know, or maybe survive on a few berries and a few leaves, yeah. So the human body does not need to be fed every 2 hours, yeah. And that's part of the problem we got nowadays. We got the food around the corner, yeah. We don't have to hunt for our food down anymore, which is a good thing. Don't need to go and hunt for your food, but you know, it's the fact that we eat not because we are hungry, we eat because it's there. How many times have you gone to a coffee shop, go there to get your coffee, and again, the coffee can be like 2 meals in one coffee when you start having all those things with all the syrup and all the kind of stuff. But let's assume you go there for just a standard coffee, yeah. How many times you've actually ended up coming out with maybe a croissant, or maybe a muffin, or maybe a flapjack, just because it's there? You're not hungry, it's just because it goes nicely with your coffee, yeah. So hunger is a big thing. So learn to understand when you're hungry or when you're just being greedy, yeah. So we have unfortunately lost our ability to listen to our body because we're constantly feeding ourselves every 5 minutes. So you need to understand what the difference between hunger and craving, yeah. A craving, if you distract yourself for at least 10 minutes, the craving is gone. Hunger, you can try all the distracting you want, you're still gonna feel hungry, yeah. So it's a different feeling. So hunger, if you eat something and you're hungry, you know, fairly quickly after having had the full meal, that food is not working for you. If you can't stay for at least 5 hours without eating, that food is not working for you. So your hunger level will give you an indication on how good your diet is for your body. The other things that you need to look at is energy. Again, energy level. Now, if you are feeling tired all the time, now assuming you do not have a medical condition, yeah. So I suffer from Hashimoto, which is the autoimmune version of underactive thyroid. So if I was not to take my medication for underactive thyroid, I will be not getting out of bed. So that's nothing to do with diet being bad for me. That's just doing with my thyroid not doing the job you're supposed to do, yeah. So if you don't have a specific medical condition that is being controlled properly, yeah, and you are feeling tired, you're feeling fatigued all the time, you, especially after eating a meal, you start feeling lethargic, sleepy, yawning, that food is not working for you. When you eat the right food for you, you are buzzing, you're ready to go. You know, give an indication, you know, with the way I'm eating at the moment, despite the fact I've got 2 autoimmune disorders, despite the fact I've got raised markers for 3 other autoimmune disorders, despite the fact I'm menopausal and I got underactive thyroid, the way I'm eating now allows me not only not to need to eat for 22 hours, I go and train in the gym, doing a 2 hours workout, very hard workout, weightlifting workout, on a fasted state. I've got energy, yeah. Now that's when you know is the right food for you, yeah. So that doesn't mean that everybody should be fasting for 18 hours. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying your energy, you do not need to eat the food because you got energy without the food. If you have to rely on food or on stimulants like coffee for your energy, you've got a problem. Yeah, okay. So the food you eat should give you enough energy to do everything you should be doing, yeah. The human body is not built to stay still all the time. Nowadays, our lifestyle makes us sit down for at least 13 hours a day, yeah. If you think about it, sleep at night, you know, you're not moving, yeah. You get up, you go to work, you spend X amount of time sitting down going to work. You go to work, you sit down for a good, if you do an 8-hour shift, you'll be sitting down for at least 6 hours of those 8 hours. Yeah. Go back home, you're sitting down, driving on the tube. You get home, what do? You eat and you sit down. Yeah. So that is basically what the problem is. The human body is not built to sit down and do nothing. The human body is built to move, activity. We used to go out hunting, foraging, all this time. We don't do that anymore. Activity means even just walking, going for a walk. You don't have to go and slave it out in the gym. That's not, that's training. That's different depending on what goals you got. Yeah. So energy. So if the food you're eating is right for you, it will give you the energy to do what you want to do. It's as simple as that. Yeah. You're not going to feel, flopped out. Yeah. So the other thing that is the indicator whether your eating is good for you, is cravings. Now, cravings, okay. I'm going to put a caveat here, and the only caveat that is justifiable when it comes to cravings is for women when it's that time of the month, because then the hormones are playing a whole different game there. Yeah. So when it's the time of the month, women will have cravings. Yeah. It's normal and it's fine. You live with that, deal with that, minimize the damage, whatever, fine. That's understandable. But if you're not, first of all, if you're not a woman, got no excuse. But even if you're a woman, and it's not that time of the month, and you're getting cravings, and very often people get cravings for carbohydrates. Yeah, it doesn't have to be sweet. It could be craving for bread. It could be craving for croissant. Fast digestible carbohydrate that give you energy. Craving for coffee. Yeah. So if you're getting cravings regularly, and the cravings are so bad that you've got to have it. Yeah, chocolate is very common. You got to have it. That diet is not working for you. A diet that is right does not give you cravings. Yeah, and even when you think you're doing a good diet, because let me give you an example. As I said, I've tried everything: vegetarian, vegan. I done paleo, I done ketogenic, and at the moment I'm zero carb, which is carnivore. Yeah. So when I was ketogenic is one of the best eating way of life, because it's very low. It's anti-inflammatory and it's actually been used for anything from epilepsy to type 2 diabetes. Is something that now is the medical world is finally becoming more aware of. You can actually cure a lot of chronic disease with a ketogenic diet. Yeah, so it's a very good diet. Now, when I was on a ketogenic diet, my health improved a lot, thyroid improved, managed to half medication on that. However, one thing I could never get rid of is this awful cheese cravings. Now, I think cheese is not that bad. I mean, but it's bad for me because with autoimmune, cheese is a big no-no. It's one of the trigger food. You must not eat cheese or dairy products. When I was having the craving, my husband can attest to this. It was like, I need it now. I was in such a mood, and I had to have it. And particularly Parmesan cheese. I love Parmesan cheese. So, and before going ketogenic, my cravings were at the time of the month, for example, were for chocolates, and I had the same attitude. It was like, I need it now. It was anger. Literally, I need it now. My mood will go all over the place if I didn't have that. So once I became ketogenic, because ketogenic gets rid of the sugars completely, yeah. So you don't crave sugars at all, but you start craving other things. You crave fat. In my case, I crave cheese. That was awful. I went from one bad thing to another bad thing for me, because cheese was very bad for me, and I couldn't get rid of this bastard craving. I just couldn't. I tried everything, and it doesn't matter the amount of willpower I play. It just couldn't. It was hitting me all the time. The only time I managed to get rid of it is when I switched to carnivore. Now that cleared all of the cravings, even the cheese cravings for me. That to me is the holy grail. Yeah, it doesn't mean that carnivore is the diet for everyone. It's that one for me. I was able to get rid of the one craving that is not only was bad for my health, but literally it turned me into the bloody beast. I was aggressive. I needed to have it now. There was nothing that would hold me back. Yeah, it was that bad. That's not a good place to be. So that's what I'm saying. So you might be following a healthy diet, Mediterranean diet, for example, and you still have huge amount of cravings. That means that doesn't work for you. Doesn't mean that it's bad. You just need to tweak it. Find out what it is that's causing the cravings, eliminate it, replace with something else. That's all it is. Yeah. So the 3 things to summarize, you have to, it will give you a big giveaway if your diet is not working for you. Hunger levels, yeah, energy, yeah, levels, and cravings. Those 3 things, keep in mind, they will give you massive clue whether you're doing the right thing for your body or not, irrespective of what diet you're following. You say, I'm not interested in all this, attacks from vegans, attack the carnivore, the ketogenic. It's bull. I don't care what diet you follow, provided it works for you and it's based on solid foods. It's based on whole food. It's not based on stuff that comes in packet. It's not based on protein shakes. It's not based on protein bars. It's based on real food as it comes in nature. Yeah. So once you find out, once you look at those 3 things, hunger, energy, and cravings, and you find out whether your food, what you're eating, doesn't work for you, then you need to find out what's going to work for you. So personalization is the thing you gotta do. There is not one diet that will be the same for everyone. Yeah, in everything you do, whether you do vegetarian, vegan, ketogenic, does not make a difference. You could have 2 people following a vegetarian diet, and one person version will be slightly different from the other person because the body reacts to certain food better than others. Yeah, so it doesn't matter what you're doing. It's gotta be specialized to you. So first thing in personalization, you got to look at goals. What are you trying to achieve? Now, if your goal is to improve your health, because maybe you got diabetes, maybe you got high blood pressure, maybe you're obese, maybe you got autoimmune like me, Crohn's disease, anything like that, yeah? You got IBS, yeah, so irritable bowel syndrome. Whatever the reason you're doing, if you're doing for health purposes, or if you're doing it for fat loss, yeah, whether you want to lose fat, you want to lose weight because you're obese and it's putting your health at risk, or whether because you got wedding coming up, or you got holiday in the bikini coming up, or whatever reason you want to be, you want to feel better with yourself. Whatever goal it is, might be, if you're a guy, you might want to bulk up. Yeah, so whatever your goal is, the diet has to be first and foremost looking at the goal you're trying to achieve. Because if you are trying to lose weight, what you're going to do is going to be different from somebody who wants to bulk up. Completely different. Yeah, so if you're trying to control a medical condition, your diet will be different from somebody who just wants to lose weight. Yeah, because to control medical condition, you have to avoid the foods that cause the medical condition. Yeah, so it's not just a question of reducing calories, or which I'm going to cover later, because calories in versus calories out is something we need to discuss anyway. So goals first and foremost. Then you need to find out if there are specific food that don't work for you. Yeah, if you built an intolerance to something. Now, the difference between intolerance and allergies is very clear. Allergy, you get an immediate reaction. So you could get skin rashes. I mean, the most common allergies we know about will be like an anaphylactic shock if you have nuts, things like that. Yeah, so those kind of things, immediate reaction. Yeah. Very serious. I mean, you could die out of that. Yeah, if it's an intolerance, you will get symptoms which cause discomfort, but they're not life-threatening. Yeah, so you might get bloating, you might get either constipation or diarrhea. You can still get skin rashes. Yeah, but they're not unbearable. Yeah, so you might get very often stuffy nose. Yeah, very common with dairy allergies. If people start getting stuffy nose, they feel like they got cold, but they haven't got cold. That's dairy causing that. Yeah, so with nuts and egg allergies, very often dairy as well, you get gastric problems, so bloating, or you may get diarrhea, very common. Yeah, wheat will give you bloating. Wheat will also give you lethargy after eating wheat. So if you have a sandwich and an hour later you're there struggling to keep your eyes open, chances are you got a bit of a wheat intolerance going on. Yeah. So with intolerances, the difference in intolerances and allergies, you have to avoid the food. There is no way back. The food is out of your diet, or you suffer very often severe medical consequences. Yeah. Intolerance is basically a fancy name given to sensitivity. So you have developed a sensitivity to the food. How do you develop sensitivity? Very simple. If you have the food too often, yeah, or too much of it, the body after a while is going to say, I don't like this anymore, and you develop a bit of a sensitivity and intolerance. Yeah. So the way to find out if you got an intolerance is, well, very simple. You can do intolerance tests. There are loads of companies out there do intolerances tests. If you need to go down the road, please let me know, because I've tried a few of them, and I can point you towards direction. The ones are good, reputable, versus the one that's just going to rip you off and give you a lot of bull. Yeah. So that's the quick way. Yeah, do a blood test, will tell you intolerances A, B, C, D, everything you're intolerant to, and then you deal with that. The long way and cheaper way, if you don't want to spend money in testing, will be to write down, track all your food. So you write it down, whether you want to use the phone application, write down a piece of paper, whatever works for you. Every time you have a meal, you write it down. And then if you notice any symptoms, whether it's bloating, diarrhea, headaches, after that meal, you write down the symptom. Yeah. And you do that for a good, I would say, at least a month. Very soon you will start to notice that every time you've had a headache, you've had a kind of food. Every time you had the bloating, you had a kind of food. Then you know that food is not working for you. Yeah. So it's a bit more long-winded, and it requires discipline in recording everything. And I mean everything, even what you drink. Yeah, because certain things like coffee can give you reactions as well. Yeah, so everything, you have to be very, very, very accurate, recording everything, and then you'll be able to say, oh, every time I have that, that's when I get diarrhea. Yeah, so you know. So how do you deal with that? Now, once you find out you got an intolerance, yeah, so you develop sensitivity, is a very easy process, elimination process. Yeah. What you do, you eliminate the food or foods, because very often we got multiple intolerances at the same time. The most common ones are wheat, yeah, gluten as well, dairy, soy, eggs, yeah, and nuts very often. So those are very common intolerances. So if, let's say, you got 2 or 3 different intolerances at the same time they come up, then you need to eliminate all of the foods completely for at least 3 months. At least 3 months. Yeah. You don't have them in any form or shape. So when you go and buy stuff in the supermarket, read the ingredients, because let's say you are intolerant to wheat, you go and buy sausages that have freaking wheat in them these days. Yes, so read the ingredients, and then you know you're avoiding them. So avoid them for 3 months completely. Then you reintroduce them, not all at once. You introduce one at a time. Let's say you're intolerant to dairy. Yeah, you introduce dairy. So you know, I will do in 2 ways with dairy. I will do milk versus cheese on a separate way. Yeah, because it could be the lactose that you got an issue with, or it could be the casein. Yeah, so lactose is a sugar in the dairy, casein is one of a protein, like whey protein as well. So you need to find out which one is the problem. So if you do an intolerance test, you know. But if you don't do intolerance test, you do it the long way, you know, working it out yourself, then reintroduce milk first. You introduce milk, you start having the same symptom you had before, then that food is out of your diet for good. If after 3 months you're still having reaction, that means that food just not going to be part of your diet. You must not have it there, because it's going to cause inflammation. And then once you're finished with the milk, then try cheese. Yeah, and so whatever your favorite cheese used to be, try that, and you might find you're fine with the cheese. Now, if you're celiac like me, milk protein is a big no-no. So that goes for goat cheese, cow cheese, goat milk, cow milk, sheep milk. Is the protein that we got a problem with. So you'll find that any type of dairy just not going to work. Yeah, if you're not celiac, lucky you, and you try. So try cow's cheese. If that reacts with you, maybe try goat cheese. A lot of people are fine with goat cheese or sheep cheese, yeah? So try different ones, and provided you get no reaction at all, no symptoms at all, then the food can become again part of your diet. Maybe don't go as mad as you used to before, so don't have it quite so often in quite so large amount. If you used to have every day, maybe have it just a couple of times a week. Yeah, so just, you know, don't go back to what you were doing before, otherwise guess what, you get the same result you got before, you become intolerant again. Yeah, so reintroduce again. Once you've done the test, let's say you were intolerant to dairy, wheat, and I don't know, nuts. So once you try the dairy and you know what works and what doesn't work, then try to reintroduce nuts, for example. Yeah, and again, see if you're getting, you know, if you're getting any symptoms or not. And then again with nuts, again, it could be different type of nuts. You might be fine with almonds and might have a problem with peanuts. By the way, peanuts are not nuts, they're a legume. Yeah, and they're not actually very good, so stay away from peanuts and cashews. You know, if you got digestive issues, gut issues, peanuts and cashews are not very good for you anyway, so stick to almond. But try again different nuts, you will get different reactions. I had an issue not long ago where I was trying to support my thyroid with selenium. I started having a couple of Brazil nuts a day, yeah, and I had a massive reaction to that. My heart started struggling. Yeah, so, and you know, and there's nothing wrong with Brazil nuts, a perfectly healthy, you know, type of food, but my body reacted very badly. One thing I had to remove. Yeah, I don't have nuts anyway because it's not part of, you know, the lifestyle I follow now, but in those days I was trying to do it. So we're all different. So find out goals, important. Eat according to your goals. Find out if you got any intolerances. If you got allergies, you will know, because trust me, if you got an allergy, you would have been diagnosed a long time ago, and you would stay well away from the food because the reaction you get are so severe that are life-threatening. So you will know if you got any allergies. But intolerances, you might not know. You know, you might get diarrhea and just put it down to maybe a bug, and it's not a bug, it's actually a reaction to food. You might get bloating, and you know, we brush off bloating, you know, just say we live with that. You know, you don't have to live with that. Bloating is a sign something is inflaming your body. And by the way, if you got this fat loss or weight loss and you eat the food that inflame your body, you will never lose fat, because when the body is in a state of high inflammation, it holds on to fat. Is a self-defense mechanism. Yeah, so if your goal is weight loss, you keep on eating the things that don't work for you, you might as well just go and stuff your face, because you're not going to get anywhere. Yeah, okay. So the other thing you can do is DNA testing. Yeah, DNA testing will tell you how your body responds to protein, carbohydrate, fats, you know, any vitamin deficiencies. You got genetically predisposed for that. And also can tell you on the exercise side whether you're more power based or endurance based. Great is on the app at the moment. There's loads of companies doing DNA testing there, so if you want to look at the DNA testing side, let me know. I've tried 3 different companies, so I can give you very good advice on what, you know, what works best for you. One caveat, guys, for DNA testing: when you do DNA testing, so the DNA test will tell you your predisposition to certain things. So you're more predisposed to power versus endurance for training side. If you're predisposed to having vitamin D deficiency, vitamin B12 deficiency, if you are predisposed genetically to optimizing your health and your goals, if you have more carbohydrate, more protein, more fat, but the DNA test cannot take into account the effect of your lifestyle has already had on your body. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. I've got 2 autoimmune disorders. Yeah, I got celiac disease, which is basically gluten, yeah, allergy, and I've got Hashimoto, which is basically underactive thyroid, autoimmune. Yeah, so when I did I tried 3 different company DNA tests, and when I did all of them obviously gave me similar results. Yeah, because of your DNA does not change. You got what you got. Yeah, however, the results were based on my DNA. They were not based on my DNA plus how my lifestyle has affected the expression of my DNA. Yeah, so what they were telling me that I could have this and I could have that, when I know very well I cannot have that because I got autoimmune that is causing the problem. Yeah, so the DNA needs to be taken in the context. Yeah, if you already got diabetes, if you got autoimmune, the information DNA gives you is very good, but is not complete, because when your lifestyle has affected your gene expression. So the DNA is basically all your genes, yeah, your genetic profile. Your genetic profile is the cards you've been dealt when you were born. You get a strand from your mother, a strand from your dad, yeah. So if any of those parents carry in the family autoimmune disorders or anything like that, you get a higher chance of developing those. But it doesn't mean you're going to develop them. The chance is only 50%. The other 50% is made up from your lifestyle. Your lifestyle is to do with nutrition, what you're eating, how well you're sleeping, your stress level, and your activity level. Those 4 items make up your lifestyle. So if you are inactive, if you eat crap, if you don't sleep very well, yeah, or you sleep very little, or you know, because you're too busy looking in your Facebook page, yeah, or watching TV, and if you're stressed out of your brain, yeah, then that will screw up your genes, and all the genes that carry the bad genetic codes, potentially autoimmune, diabetes, and all that, will be activated. Now, the DNA test does not know, yeah, that you develop celiac disease, does not know you develop diabetes, does not know that, because that's not, you know, it's an expression of a gene caused by your lifestyle. It doesn't know that. So it gives you advice based on your genes. So it will tell you, you got high predisposition for this. Therefore, it gives you advice based on nutrition to avoid getting you there. But it doesn't know if you already got that. You know, unfortunately, that's the limitation. Who knows, maybe one day we'll know. So just understand that the information you get there is for prevention. But if you're already at the, you know, you develop the disease, the prevention is not good. You're on cure mode now. You're not preventing, you're trying to cure it now, yeah, or to manage it at best, yeah. So just understand that. So goals are important. Understand if you got intolerances or allergies and deal with them, yeah. So with the elimination diet, and then do DNA testing to get understanding of what works for your body, ideally before you develop anything. Otherwise, you need to interpret it a little bit more, yeah. So those are things very important for personalization. Of course, personalization involves things like your beliefs. Yeah. So I've got lots of clients, they, you know, originally from India, and they're vegetarian or vegan. Yeah. So that's in their belief. It's a religion choice. Yeah. I can turn around and tell them this diet is not working for you. But at the end of the day, if that's a religious choice, they're not prepared to go against it, then you have to work with it. Yeah, so find alternatives. So if it turns out that you know, that you're not good with soy, you've got an intolerance to soy, soy's got to come out. Even if vegetarian or vegan, that's got to come out of your diet. You got to substitute it with something else. Yeah, so you know, you can still work around. It's not ideal, but you know, you work with it. You know. So and it could be ethical, you know, things, reasons. So obviously vegetarians and vegan can be for ethical reasons, not for religious. It's their choice. And then again, you know, it's entirely up to people what they make the choices. Yeah, just understand the consequence of a choice. Understand that you can still tailor things, but you know, sometimes if you restrict yourself too much, it can have an impact on your health. And then just, you know, basically, you know, choose. Yeah. So personalization, tracking. Now, the only way for you to know for sure, you know, if what you're doing is right to achieve your goals and to achieve health, yeah, is by tracking. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can tell you now, in 10 years of experience as a personal trainer, the people who do not get results are the ones who don't track their food. Yeah, so if you're too lazy to track your food, you're not going to get results. That's simple. So, you know, you want to make your excuses, but at the end of the day, you know, you're wasting your time. Yeah, so tracking, you don't have to track for life. I mean, I track everything. I mean, but that's because I'm a bit anal. Yeah, so I track not just on one, I track on 2 different applications, so I can get the, you know, the average. I track on MyFitnessPal and I track on my chronometer, which is more an American-based application. Yeah, and I get the average, if you like, you know, so I know I'm in the right ballpark. But you know, realistically speaking, if you track what you're eating for at least 6 months. Yeah, day in, day out. Don't track one day and 3 days not, because it's pointless. Then you're not achieving anything. Yeah. track your food, yeah, for a good 6 months. By the end of 6 months, not only you would have learned, you know, the nutrients, the food that you're having, you know, what is good and what's bad for you, but you also would have learned quantities, portions, because let's be honest, in today's world, everything is big. Yeah, we are being pushed, you know, buy 2 get 1 free, or, you know, go McDonald's, you know, 1p get the large size. You don't need the large size, you know, not unless you want to get ill, you want to become obese and diabetic, and then go for the large size. Yeah, well, you're saving 1p, really? I mean, come on, what, you know, this value for money crap's got to stop. It's got to stop now. Yeah, we are so worried about getting our penny worth that we're letting our health go down the drain to get our penny worth. When it comes to food, doesn't work that way. You eat when you're hungry, and you stop eating when you're full. That's it. That is as simple as it gets. Yeah, and imagine how much money you're gonna save in food when you're not eating 5 meals a day, because you don't need 5 meals a day. Yeah, you're saving money that way. Forget about saving a penny, because you get, you know, 3 for the price of 2. Yeah, so track your nutrition, track your activity. 6 months, guys. That's what you need to do. By then you will understand. It will register there. Yeah, because if it's not written, it doesn't register. So it will register there. And most importantly, track when you go off track. Yeah, so when you're having one of those days when you're gonna, you know, splurge completely, binge, write it down, track an application, because I can guarantee you, when you write down you've had half a bottle of vodka and that shows 1,000 calories, that is gonna shock you to the point that next time you think twice before having a half a bottle of vodka. Yeah, so if you don't recall, it's only half a bottle, it's not big, it's just once, you know, but half a bottle of vodka every single weekend, you might as well eat whatever you want, because all the work you put in exercise and activity, all the work you put in eating healthily for the week, you just blown it completely. Yeah, so record, especially when you go off the wagon. Especially, and you will go off the wagon because we're human. And to be honest with you, it's not about perfection. Nobody's perfect. And, you know, as I say to everyone, is 80-20. 80% stay on track, 20% a bit of transgression. That could be you got a wedding coming up, you know, and of course you don't want to be the party pooper. I can have that, you know. You might have a celebration going now, your wedding anniversary, it could be a birthday, your birthday. Yes, have a slice of cake if you want to, but it's not going to kill you. Yeah, Christmas, okay, have some chocolate if you want for Christmas, but don't have a whole freaking box for 3 days in a row. Yeah, so let's use moderation, let's be honest. Yeah, so you can do that. Yeah, but when you do, record it, because once you see the effect and the damage, the amount of sugar this crop, how much sugar this crop has, or the amount of bad fats, you know, some of this crop has, and the amount of calories, you know, compared to what you should be having, you know, is taken away from you, then next time it will register. And next time when you're reaching for that, you're going to think, oh, do I need this? Do I need this? You know, just, you know, work really hard for 5 days. Do I need to do this? Maybe not. Let's save it for the right occasion. Yeah. Okay. So tracking is very important. At least 6 months. Then you can stop, because once you understood and you learned the nutrients in food and the portions you need to eat, then that's fine. If you want to stop, then fine. You know, if you want to continue. I've been doing it for freaking 10 years, you know, so and every single day without break. That's how I am. That's how anal I am, but it's made a huge difference for me. Yeah. So let's talk about calories, because that's another one of the things that is a little bit iffy. So calories in versus calories out. Now, there's lots of thoughts out there about calories. The old concept was to lose weight, you have to create 3,500 calories deficit a week, 500 calories a day. Yeah. So what you eat versus what you burn is 500 calories difference. That came about because, you know, many years ago, somebody measured a pound of fat, the energy contained in a pound of fat, and fat contained 3,500 calories. So they say, well, to lose 1 pound of fat, you have to create a deficit of 3,500 calories a week. Right. Makes sense? Yeah. Okay, makes sense. Now, the reality is this. It's near enough, almost impossible to measure the actual calorie expenditure you have. Why? Lots of things. first of all, the amount of activity you do. Unless you record the activity, every single activity you do, yeah. I record my training in the gym. I use a Polar watch with a chest strap. This gives you super accurate heart rate, yeah, beating, recording, and then tells me how many calories are burnt, yeah. Is it 100% accurate? No, it's not. Nothing is. Yeah, so it's a very good indication. But do I track all the walking I do? How many calories I've done? Yeah, this tracks my steps as well, but great, but doesn't tell me how many calories are burned, not accurately. How do I track when it's cold? When it's cold, your body burns more calories to keep you warm. How do I track how much calories my body is burned to eat, to digest the proteins I eat? Because protein is the most the type of macronutrients that takes the most energy for the body to digest. Up to 20% of the calories you eat with protein is used to the digestion of a protein. How do you track that? It's impossible. How do you track? I mean, as you lose weight, you expend less calories because the body's got less mass to carry around. How do you track? It's impossible. So that's what I'm saying. It's, you know, it's really impossible to track every single calorie you expend. Yeah. However, you can track what you eat. Yeah, and then you can, based on some of these applications that work out roughly based on your height, your weight, they work out your basal metabolic rate, yeah, the kind of how much your body burns at rest without moving. Then they give you an indication, you know, what your calorie expenditure is. So the most important thing you need to do is to consider is the quality of the calories you have, yeah, because let's be honest, if I tell you need to eat 1200 calories a day, yeah, and as a personal trainer I can calculate that, then you're going to need 1200 calories of Mars bars, then I can guarantee you're not going to get results, yeah. So you're going to get diabetic, yeah, and you're going to feel like shit because you're going to go up and down, your glucose levels go up, down, up, down, up, down. So it's about quality of food, not just about making sure what you eat is less than what you expend, yeah, and energy wise. So food is, you just eat whole food. So either from the plant world or from the animal world, you know, you do not eat the stuff that is man-made. Anything that's been made by men, pasta, bread, muffin, cakes, crisps, ready meals, sausages, unless they come from the butcher and they only contain meat, because most sausages will contain gluten, sugars, God, how much crap. And one word warning, guys, gluten-free food, please run, stay away from gluten-free food. Is not only is full of sugar, but it's full of so much crap, because once you take the gluten away, you have to make up with something that makes it all stick together. It's full of so much chemical crap. So gluten-free food, if you go celiac like me, you want to stay away from gluten, there's lots of natural food that don't contain gluten. Meat doesn't contain gluten. Plants don't contain gluten. What else we got? Grains like rice and quinoa don't contain gluten. So there's no excuse. Yeah, so do not tell me you have to have gluten-free food because you're celiac, because it's the most processed food ever. And not only is gonna, you might not get gluten for that. By the way, gluten-free food doesn't mean it's gluten-free. It means it's got such a small amount of gluten that is acceptable for celiacs. Yeah, it doesn't mean it's gluten-free. Now, who decides what's acceptable for you? Well, guidelines. Yeah, but excuse me, I'm very sensitive to gluten. Yeah, every time you have gluten, my body mounts an autoimmune attack on my thyroid and on my gut. I'm not having some idiot sitting on the chair that's never had autoimmune disease and celiac disease telling me that I can have 0.02% or something because it won't make a difference, because it will. Any small particle of gluten will cause an autoimmune reaction if you're celiac. Yeah, and if you got autoimmune, by the way, because most autoimmune people with autoimmune should stay away from gluten. So, you know, understand that gluten-free does not mean gluten-free, and plus it's super processed, so just stay away from that. Yeah, so whole food, animal wood, so meat, fish, eggs, dairy. I would say if you can tolerate dairy heavy, but really most people don't tolerate dairy, so it's probably causes lots of inflammation, mucus and stuff like that. Yeah. From the plant world, so you got beans, lentils, nuts, olives, the good oil. By the way, good oils are olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil. Yeah, do not go sunflower, safflower, canola. Somebody told me rapeseed. Oh my God, stay away from those ones. Stay well away from those ones. Yeah. So plant food, plant world, and animal world as they come in nature. So you want to have a potato, you make yourself a nice jacket potato or boiled potato or something like that. You do not have a potato in the form of funny letters, frozen funny letters or chips, yeah, or crisps. That is not the potato. That is the man-made version of a potato which is full of crap. You have a potato as it comes in nature. Yeah, so stick to real food. Is the nutrient density of food that matters. So how dense they are with nutrients as opposed to how dense they are calories. An example, chocolate is, let's talk about milk chocolate. Dark chocolate is slightly different. Milk chocolate is dense, is energy dense, is full of calories, very little nutrients. Yeah. Avocado is nutrient dense. Yeah, so it's full of nutrients. It's got huge amount of minerals, loads of vitamins, good monounsaturated fats, brilliant product. Yeah, comes in nature. Yeah, and it's got less calories. Yeah, but it's nutrient dense, what means it keeps you full for longer. So you don't, that's what we're going back to saying, you should be staying for at least 5 hours without eating. If you can't stay that long, you've got a problem. The food you're eating doesn't agree with you, or is calorie dense, not nutrient dense. It's all about getting the good nutrition. Give your body good nutrition, you heal the body from a health point of view, you feel more energetic, no cravings, yeah, hunger is under control, your hormones are under control, and you're going to enjoy it. Yeah, so you're not spending your time thinking, oh, what should I eat? What should I eat now? Yeah. Energy in versus energy out. Yes, you still have to create a deficit. Yeah, but if you're active and you eat normal portion of food as it comes in nature, whole food, you will be 90% of the time eating less than you're moving. The reality is we don't move enough. That's where the problem is. Yeah, and the most important thing is this. Change your mindset. Yeah, change your mindset from diet to lifestyle. Your food is fuel. Yes, you're allowed to enjoy your food, yeah, but when your enjoyment of food becomes more than importance of fueling your body, which is nowadays, because we go and eat just because it's there. Yeah, we go meeting a friend, and what we gonna do when we meet a friend? We're gonna either go drink alcohol or we're gonna drink coffee, and you gotta eat something. Even if you're not hungry, you could have had lunch an hour ago, and you're still going to have a coffee with something else, or 2 glasses of wine with something else. Yeah, we don't need that. We're doing that for enjoyment. We have gone to the point where for us socializing means drinking. No, that is so wrong. I'm not saying socializing is very important for human. Yeah, social connection with others is massive. It's very important for your brain health as well, but not when you start putting crappy food and crappy drink in there. Yeah, so socialize with people, go out, have fun with them, go for a nice walk with them. Don't spend your socializing sitting down drinking. Yeah, that's not socializing. That is just having a chat. Might as well just stay at home, have a chat with them over the phone, so at least you don't have to drink. Yeah, so choose your battles. Yeah, if you got any condition like autoimmune diabetes, really now your health has to come before any form of enjoyment. Yeah, if you haven't got any autoimmune disorders or any health issues, you're lucky, but how long you stay lucky depends on your actions. Yeah, the actions that you take. So you gotta stop thinking from diet and switch over to lifestyle. Yeah, it's all about just eating healthily. You gotta think about finding a way to eat that suits your lifestyle, your work commitment, your family commitments. I understand people come home from work and they're exhausted. I understand people come home from work, the last thing they want to do is exercise or start cooking. Yes, so fine, prepare yourself. At the weekend you're home, you're not working, do a massive cooking. Yeah, so get a nice pressure cooker if you want, or do cook whichever way you like. So whether you want to steam, whether you want to bake, whatever, but do a massive meal prep. Yeah, prepare your meals for the week. Yeah, then you put them in containers. Yeah, portion containers, freeze them. And then when you come home in the evening, you're exhausted and you can't be bothered to cook. So instead of going and reaching for some crap food, get the container, put in the microwave. That's food you cooked when you were free. You had the time to do it. It's whole food. It's good for you, and you got a nice meal done for you. So is that about time management? It's about managing your lifestyle. Yeah. And we all have the excuse, I've got no time. I'm sorry. Do not go to your children and tell them that they're making up excuses when they say they haven't done the homework. When you as an adult make the excuse you haven't got time, because you got 24 hours. We all got 24 hours. Come off of social media and use that time to cook. At the weekend, most people will have Saturday and Sunday off. Yeah. So, you know, if you're like me, you don't get your days off. But, you know, I manage. I prepare my food every single day. Yeah. And as soon as I get home, I need to eat. I don't sit in front of a television and think, oh, I can't be bothered to cook. Straight into the kitchen, straight cooking. While my food is cooking, I go myself upstairs, sort myself out, get ready, come back down, finish cooking, eat. Yeah? If you haven't got time for that, cook at the weekend. As I say, meal prep. That's all it is. Yeah? It's organizing yourself. And if you're recording your food in an app on the phone, record the week ahead. Yeah, so then every day you know what you're going to be eating, and you're not having to think about it, you know, lasting an hour when you're exhausted, first in the morning when your brain hasn't kicked in because you haven't had your caffeine yet. Yeah, so pre-record the week ahead, so then you know what the meal prep is going to be. Do your meal prep, you got food pre-recorded, you get up in the morning, you know what you're going to do. And of course there will be things, you might have an extra coffee, or you might, you know, something might change, and you might go out with your colleagues after work and maybe have some. Fine, you just can add it on later. Yeah, okay. So it's all time management. So that's what I want to say, guys. I hope you find this useful. So a few tips for to judge, to personalize your diet. So goals. Find out if you got food intolerances, allergies. DNA testing can help as well. Most importantly, go by HEC. H for hunger levels. E for energy levels, C for cravings. Any of those three are not good, your diet is not working for you. Yeah. Record everything, track everything for at least 6 months, so you get used to what the food, the nutrients of the food, the amount of the food, and you can actually tailor it properly, and then you can stop tracking if you want to. Yeah. And look at a diet as not as diet but as lifestyle. Yeah, it's not about, you know, doing something short term. It's about finding the food that works for you and making those changes so that are fitted to your lifestyle, whether it's, you know, so you can cook when you got time to cook, eat the food that you want to eat, and make your choices. So if you're vegan, vegetarian, is in line with those ones. Yeah, but don't look for excuses, look for ways of making that work for you. If you do that, you make a big difference. And what's more important, actually, you do this, your kids see you, they learn from you. If they just see you having ready meals, if they see you jumping from diet to diet, guess what, they'll do the same. And most importantly, if you are too lazy to cook for yourself, chances are you're going to be too lazy to cook right for them as well. Yeah, and that will have a knock-on effect on the health. Yeah, so make the time. We have got the time. You're just going to make the time, cook ideally from scratch, healthy food, meal prep if you got to do it. Yeah, and just you know, personalize your diet to your needs, to your goals, to your belief as well, but also to your hunger, energy levels, and cravings. Okay, good. Have a good day, guys. Gotta go and do my training now, and hope you found it useful. If you did, please comment on that. Be nice. I can see some people there. As I say, I don't seem to see everybody. I can see Catherine, Gujan. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I'm not very good. And Jane, I can see Jane as well. If it's more, just say hi. And if you know somebody who can benefit from this, struggling from diet to diet, not achieving what they need to achieve, pass it on to them. Hopefully that will help them. And until next time, have a great day. Bye.